Alright, here's an example where we have several different exponent rules all combined, so we're going to kind of go through and do this in a couple steps. What I suggest is you start out with a couple different division bars, and then you're just going to kind of work through it and simplify it little by little. I would probably start here with this parenthesis and try to take it through there. So remember, this power, the negative third power there, goes to everything inside there, every piece. So that 2 will be to the negative third, which of course any power to a negative, or any base to a negative power is going to either flip from the top to the bottom or bottom to the top. It has nothing to do with becoming negative. That 2 to the negative third on the top will become 2 to the third on the bottom. That p, remember that's a power to a power then, so p to the 7th to the negative third would be p to the negative 21st, which of course is negative, so we're going to move it to the bottom and it will become p to the 21st on the bottom. F to the negative third to the negative third, once again, negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9, so it's going to stay on top as an f to the 9th. And then we have an m to the second to the negative third, of course, when we multiply, and that gets m to the negative 6, which will move it to the bottom as m to the 6th. I'm going to go back through now and do this second part here. Okay, remember this third power doesn't go to the 4. The 4 is a coefficient. That third power only goes to the p. Okay, so we're going to leave that 4, the p to the third, the f to the second, which will eventually combine with that f to the 9th, and then m to the negative 7th is going to go to the bottom, because once again, a negative power makes something go either from top to bottom or bottom to top. It becomes a positive 7 down there at the bottom. Let's go through the bottom. Okay, the bottom down here. The 6 will stay on the bottom. We will have a p to the 10th, which will stay, which will eventually get combined with that p to the 21st. We'll have an f to the second, which will eventually, if we have other f's, will get combined, ending up with a lot of things here. An m to the 13th, which will stay. A 10, which is not affected by the negative 4th power right here, because remember that only goes to the p. So the p to the negative 4th on the bottom will actually go to the top as a p to the 4th, and the m to the negative 6th, once again, will go to the top as an m to the 6th. So now we've got everything kind of moved. We've dealt with all of our negatives, so now we can start combining some things. I'm going to go down to my next one, and we'll kind of maybe extend it a little bit so I can get all this together. Okay, so I have, on the top, I have still a 4. I have a p to the third and a p to the 4th, which of course we know a p to the third times a p to the 4th is a p to the 7th. We have an f to the 9th and an f to the 2nd, which would then become an f to the 11th and an m to the 6th. On the bottom we have all sorts of stuff, so I'm going to get the coefficients. I have a 2 to the third, which is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And I have a 10. 8 times 10 is 80. And 80 times 6 is 480, which will eventually simplify with that 4. Let's get all of our p's. I have p to the 10th, p to the 21st. So let's add those together and we get p to the 31st. We have an m to the 6th, an m to the 7th, and an m to the 13th. Once again, when we multiply m to the 6th times m to the 7th, it is m to the 13th, times another m to the 13th is m to the 26th. And then I have an f squared. Alright, so we're on our way. Let's go ahead and simplify our 4 and our 480. These are coefficients. That means we don't simplify them with exponent rules. We simplify them just like a fraction. 4 over 480 would become 1 over 120. And you can leave the 1, of course, it will eventually become its identity. Alright. P to the 7th and p to the 31st. What happens if a quotient of powers or a division of powers is that basically the 7 on the top are going to knock off 7 on the bottom, and so we'll be left with p to the 31 minus 7, or p to the 24th on the bottom. Those cancel out 7 of those, and it becomes a 24. I have f's that will cancel out. The 2 down here will cancel out 2 of the f's on the top. Those 2 knock off 2 of these, and 11 minus 2 is f to the 9th on the top. Once again, I have m to the 6 and m to the 26, which of course these 6 will knock off 6 of these, and that 26 will be 20, m to the 20th. And now we can of course take away that m if we'd like, or that 1, excuse me, not the m, because 1 times anything it's just its identity. And we end up with our answer of f to the 9th over 120, p to the 24th, m to the 20th.